Well, good evening and welcome back to the My Love of Golf podcast. Thanks for joining us once again, wherever you are in this wonderful wide world of ours. Appreciate you listening in. Appreciate you following, subscribing, sharing, most importantly, just hopefully enjoying the work that the three of us bring to you on a weekly basis. If you missed last week, go back and check that out. But we did drop another little bonus podcast in. I call them Industry Insider. If you want to hear about Ping and some of the product that Ping have coming to the market, but more importantly, some of the insights from someone who is Australian-based and is really very experienced in the world of Ping, please check that out. Dropped just the other day. But anyway, right now, what to talk about with the guys. Let's bring them in. Well, good evening, gentlemen. How are we as we celebrate another week of the My Love of Golf podcast? Thanks for joining us again. Listeners, if you listen to this, well, you won't pick up this part, but yeah, Mike's already started to the antagonising behaviour that sometimes is directed towards me. He's fronted up to the Zoom call. Of course, Mike's in inner city Melbourne. I'm down in the morning, the Peninsula, and Rocket is up in Brisbane. Mike and I are in hoodies, scarves, hats, heaters on. I've got the Mr. Blankie over my knees here. It's freezing down here. Rocket's probably got his T-shirt on. But Mike's already started because he's got his bandwagon Western United fronted up with the scarf on, 2-year member, and never been to a game, but he's fronted up with the scarf on to wind me up. And appropriately, I turned up with my Melbourne City hat on. Obviously, my Melbourne City lost the A-League Grand Final and very unfortunate that Mike's turned up with the Western United hat. It's not hat, he's got the My Love of Golf hat on, of course, unavailable, so you can't buy one, don't ask. He's got the Western United scarf on. Mike, how did you enjoy the A-League men's final?
I was just saying before we kicked off, I only got to catch the end of it, which is the best part because that's when they won, but also just the highlights because my AFL team was playing at the exact same time over in Perth. So, yeah, it was good to see the highlights, and I was happy because, we sort of talked about before, a few boys that I grew up with are in the ownership and the presidency there, and one of my neighbours is a midfielder there. So, yeah, it was good.
Well, Mike, one thing that I'll never challenge you on is your loyalty to the West. You live in the West, you support the West, and yeah, that's a good thing. And it's been how long has it been that you've been on this podcast now? 12 months, over 12 months?
I was just thinking about that before. It's just over 12 months because I think it was maybe
just before the Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a reasonable apprenticeship in the podcast world to go through. We think you've passed that apprenticeship. You've delivered in spades. You've probably made a number of people wealthier through your tenure here so far. Certainly with the data lake and the tips, we've got three. Have we got three currencies now to talk about? We've got a Morikawa, a Minwoo. What's the other one? Is there a Burns now? Is it a Burns?
One of the followers has a Burns, which is about 2 Morikawas, which is not in my field of play. But yeah, when we talk about young Sam Burns coming from the clouds, I'll probably give people a bit of a rundown. But there's been a few winners in the last few weeks, which is great.
We still don't know what the actual denominations of those currencies are, but we just know that there are a couple of currencies, and depending on the scale of when you win a Morikawa.
I'm pretty sure we've. There's some cryptocurrency to be made here. I'm pretty sure we could name it something. Maybe it's a Minwoo.
There's an NFT in this. There's an NFT. We need Ryan Pappenhausen to advise us and guide us on NFT world. Rocket, do you think Mike's progressed suitably on the podcast? Do you think that he's passed his probation?
Past probation.
Yeah, like right from the start. Data Lake is undefeated.
Well, I only think that it's an appropriate time that not only you have a theme tune, but Mike has a theme tune, a proper theme tune, one that might stick.
Mike.
Here he is.
Mike.
What is that?
That's great. That's the Mike song.
Mike.
We might play it in this. Just actually.
Mike.
That's great. I have to say thank you to Dion. I didn't even know where that was going there at the start of all that, but I have to say thank you to one of our listeners, Dion, who sent that in. Said, here's a suggestion for a theme tune song for Mike. And That's all it is. Mike. I'll play it at its entirety at the end, but I think that we'll find a piece of that to be your theme tune, Mike. Rocket, how are you?
Mike.
Things you can do with technology. Rocket, how are you?
I'm very good. Good.
Excellent. Is it the Rocket Mortgage this week, is it?
No.
That's just a Bryson picture. Yeah,
it's Bryson chugging on a chocolate milkshake, which is kind of appropriate for him flying in to fraudulently pretend to play the Memorial and probably withdraw again.
So is that your tip? Your tip that Bryson is on the plane? So you're forecasting that he's on the plane to the Memorial. He's posted the pictures of that and he's going there. We'll go through the warm-up and then WD. Is that what you having? Can you have money on that?
No, probably not.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's Rocket's background. You can check that out on YouTube. The growing YouTube. We picked up another follower this week, guys. Congratulations to us. One more follower, you beauty. 160 we'll be up to soon. Thanks very much. We'd love to get to 1,000. If you're listening, just look.
Or 1,000.
If you don't even look at YouTube, don't matter. Just go there. My Love of Golf. It's the same as the podcast. Type it in. Hit subscribe. Do us a favor, and then you can watch. You can watch us. You'll see our faces.
Share it with your friends.
Share it, yeah. You'll see. Mike's got a background. I don't know. What do you got? Frappuccinos there, Mike.
There's only one thing to worry about the Memorial. That's the milkshake.
Chocolate milkshake.
About 10,000 people drinking Memorial milkshakes this week.
Okay, there you go. I've learned something new. We've got all different flavors there. Okay, give us some love on YouTube, gents. Week in golf. Where do we start? What's the plan? What's the format?
Well, we'll start with Sam.
Oh, Sam? Okay.
You should be all about Sam this week.
Well, I wasn't going to gloat too much, but yeah, I'm back. It's official in terms of the tipping competition, which I have to say it's been a revelation. And Mike at Aussie Golfer, who puts it together, I believe, it's been a revelation because it has engaged our little community, our little small but engaged community in giving them something to talk about, giving them some support. And there's a number of names in there, as we've said before, that I know from all different streams, and you guys have got to know them. But yeah, I'm just saying to that group, I am back. Look out, because it doesn't, as I've always said, it doesn't take too many wins or too many great results. And I was livid with Will Zalatoris and Scotty Scheffler, who WD miscutted weeks about and cost me, but we're back with Sam Burns. The data lake, I can only thank the data lake, Mike.
Well, the best part about it was not only you two got the winner, but Ginger Ninja got the winner, and so did Pulse. And Pulse on, I reckon, Tuesday was texting me saying, I'm going so bad in the tips. I reckon I should start again now with a fresh slate and I might be a chance to go somewhere. And then he goes and picks the winner.
There you go.
Great.
Rocket, well done to you picking the winner. You probably had a more genuine insight into the form of Sam Burns. I probably jumped on your coattails, but what happened with Sam Burns? Take us through Sam Burns' win. Clutch. Was it clutch in the end?
It's just we'll call it a bit of backdoor action. The good thing about Colonial is that the weather played its part in helping make scoring difficult. So kind of like a lot of tournaments recently is that the weather would change like how things were played. Sam Burns was out early. He shot final round 65 and then the wind got up and basically tore its way through the top part of the leaderboard and made it really difficult for a lot of players to just hang in there. And then there was a possibility with 5 holes to play, the way Scheffler was going, that, Burns might actually win this thing outright without having to go to a playoff, because Scheffler holds some monster putts coming down the stretch. The one he made on 17, that was huge.
I didn't think he was going to make it. I thought there was no way he makes this, and I thought he's a massive chance, like you just said, to be out of it in regulation.
The way he putts and the way he's been putting, I was probably more confident that he would make it than miss it. And then it was a lot of the leaderboard was just kind of borderline carnage. HV3, my goodness, wasn't that an disappearing act? That was diabolical.
10 over on the back with a birdie, or 10 over in the last 8 or something, 7 or 8.
It was, like 2 triples it was like a triple, then a birdie, then a triple, and a double, it was just.
But signing autographs post and taking photos and smiles and just good attitude.
Yeah, that would have made one of us. I would have probably snapped one over my knee.
No, you're right. It was carnage. And if you look at the leaderboard, Burns 5 under and Finau, who he played with early, was 3 under, and that was no one towards the top was anything close to that. And the damage on the front 9. So Burns, I think, was 4 under on the front or 5 under on the front, and then just sort of held on the back. And like you said, the wind got up and blew everyone away.
And I think outside of Burns, so Burns, his 3rd win for this, it's really interesting, right? You got Burns winning his 3rd one for the season. You got Scheffler, who's got 4 on the board. Both have made their way through the KFT. So again, it's like this. There's this trend finally starting to sort of come through where you're getting these young guys that are toiling away on the KFT. They're coming onto tour and they're just making kind of, some of them not complete immediate impact in terms of wins, but they're like putting themselves in contention over and over again. Like this time last year, Sam Burns was like knocking on the door. Scheffler was the same, knocking on the door. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom, just opens up, and then they just get on a bit of a run. And whether that runs for 6 weeks or it could be multiple months, you see the results from there. And then you've still got a few of the normal misfits on the leaderboard there. And the other one highlight is the Formula One test driver was in contention. So he's obviously been able to sort of shake it off the week before and then continue on. So got to give him kudos to backing it up after a big week. You wouldn't hold it against him if he emceed.
Not at all. I think he had I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure in the last hole I saw someone tweet something about he made a par on the last, but the actual hole, but the putt on his last putt was a 22-foot bomb straight in the middle. Like what he would have given for that last week, and a par with a 22-foot putt to finish, he would have given anything for that.
Yeah, it's just good to see some of these other sort of this younger brigade coming through, and also, a course like Colonial, because it's an old classic course that has a bit of history. Just unfortunate that where the tournament is, where it now sits in the calendar, it gets shunted. So it's still got a pretty good field considering it's off the back of the PGA, and then you've got this short run into the US Open, so that some of those players that may want to not play there and then roll into Memorial, or even take a break this week so they can roll into Memorial, so they're not playing like multiple weeks in a row.
So did it get shunted around? Does it suffer because they moved the PGA into that forward spot?
A truckload of events. Absolute. So they're moving the PGA. Well, this problem existed, and now we're digressing. So this problem existed when the PGA moved. First, they moved the players from March into May because they were trying to ride the coattails between the Masters and that, trying to portray itself as being one of these major events. And then what that meant was then the PGA Championship traditionally would be in August, but then it runs into the preseason start of NFL season. But the FedEx Cup, the Courier Cup, the Net Club Championship lands right in the first 2 weeks of the NFL season. So basically television viewing gets wiped out. So forget about Sundays. They just don't exist. Like the viewership is dead Like, so value for money for FedEx in terms of eyeballs is zero outside of just the real hardcore nutters. So I don't know what happened with the PGA Tour, but they've cut a deal with PGA America to move the PGA into May, move the Players Championship back to March, so that then the Net Club Championship could move, instead of being the first and second week of September, into the middle part of August. So we'll call it the primary part of the tour is done before NFL season, because as you know, I'm one of the biggest NFL nuts going around. So as soon as September rolls around, like, I almost glass over when it comes to golf.
Okay. Well, yeah, the Colonial is probably one of the bigger events that suffered from that rescheduling.
Heaps of events. Yeah. Absolutely just, and some really good events, some events that have a lot of history and were played at courses that had history as well, have been completely decimated. And I could make 500 podcasts episodes on the PGA Tour, missed opportunities, and how they have not either ushered in a new era or made sure that they've taken the game into other parts of the country and created a platform where they've got certain elevated events, as they call them, but don't just jam them all together. But then these other events, put them in the right spots, treat them accordingly, give them them respect, play them at courses that kind of deserve this, and not just hit and giggle goat tracks. Oh, look, I could go on forever.
You referred to some of the players what was the almost rocketism that you referred to some of the usual contenders, or what did you say? The other players that are outside of the Burns and Scheffler coming from the KFT, who were
misfits.
who
you got Todd, then you got Finau, P. Reed, Kevin. I'm going to complain. Pat Perez, Chicken Wing Spieth is in there, but primarily Finau, Reed, and and Brendan Todd. Oh, and Scott Stallings. Just a bunch of misfits.
Oh dear. Cam Davis was up there. Matty Jones was up there.
Cam Davis played very well. Very, very well.
He's been playing really solid golf for a lot of this year. He hasn't, it's one of those things. If he makes the cut, seems like he's into that top 20, making it up into that top 15, potentially top 10s. So he's banking some coin.
He just seems to have boom or bust. He doesn't. He just needs to maximize his wedges.
Speaking of wedges, what happened to your boy, Mike? Who was
Big Victor.
Yeah.
No, he just didn't play well. Where he was after round 2, he was flying. He was right in the mix. But no, he just played really poorly on the weekend. Just didn't get anything going. I think it's a bit. Probably when I had a look at the tournament this week, there's a few players in that same basket that I've been expecting a bit from of late that just haven't delivered, and he's in that basket. So I don't think he's going to come out this week or in the next couple.
Your strike rate for the last 8 weeks has been quite good.
Oh no, yeah. There's as I've said before, anyone who's looking to have a wager on golf, don't be picking one player a week and thinking you're gonna make millions, because that's not going to work. You need to have 3 or 4 depending on who you're looking at, and go from there. And the last few weeks have been very good, which is good.
If you do want the secret sauce Twitter handle, just so you can follow on, you need to message Mike privately. He'll give you that. Is that right, Mike? You'll give that?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Because there is a Twitter handle that carries some of that information. Speaking of form, who did anyone want to bring up the mile of golf form, achieving another milestone, helping another player achieve an opportunity to further, to do even greater things in their career? Brad Kennedy.
Yeah, another one who had a Ryan Fox Sunday.
Yeah,
he had I think he was leading by 4 coming into the final round, and ended up shooting even par, and got overrun, which is a bit disappointing for him. But yeah, he gets the bonus. He gets to come on holidays with you and share a flat in St Andrews.
We get to see him at St Andrews. I thought that was. So I was pretty happy to see. I caught that he probably should have won the thing, but the fact that he qualifies for the Open. I know when I did play with him at 13th Beach, he was excited to the prospect of getting there, and especially at the stage of his career and where he's at and what he's up to, and he just keeps achieving and keeps a genuine career going along. The opportunity to play there was quite exciting, and he got there. So that was good. Hope to see another fellow Ginger Ninja storming the fairways of St Andrews come July. It's going to be. There's so many people going to be over there. Like so many people going to be there at different times. Play golf on Friday with Dylan Buckley. He's going to be there. Dylan Buckley is going to be at the Open. Like he's only just come back to golf, and obviously he's got one of the biggest sports and podcasts in Australia. Yeah, I'm going to the Open. I said, where are you staying? Don't know. Have you booked your accommodation? Not yet, but I'm going to the Open. So fair enough. Ahmed's going to be there. Ahmed's going to be there, and a whole heap of other people. It's going to be great. It's going to be like a big party. Okay. This week, what do we move on to? Is there anything more to talk about from the?
I'll just give the leaderboard on Teepstar. So
of course, yes.
We know the winners. The people who picked the winners, as I said, was both of you, Ginger Ninja and Pulse, and that changes the leaderboard up a bit. So 3-putt or die is first, no 3-putts second, Shermanator third, Michael Lloyd 4, Golf Labyrinth 5th, but up to number 10 with a bullet is a Rocket, who's now only a couple of million out of winning the thing. Rossco, you are flying into 16th, and I am still just fluttering around 30th. A couple went past me, but look, as long as there's a few people I know behind me, I'm comfortable.
No 3-putts. Had a game of golf with him on Friday as well with Dylan. He's pretty buoyant about his performances. He thinks he can win the thing. Just putting it out there. Who else? Golf Labyrinth. I was talking about Golf Labyrinth today from Sydney, Cameron, member at New South Wales, and he came up in conversation with Old Salty. So talking about him. Takes some great photos too, by the way. Who else? Who else is in the top 10? Give us that top 10 again.
The rest of the top 10, yeah. So we've got Chipper. I don't know who Chipper is.
No.
Bobby is a mate of mine who's just moved back from the States, living down in Ocean Grove.
Shout out to Bobby, living in God's country down there.
Nomadic golfer. Still, he was. I mean, you've got to remember, Nomadic golfer from the beginning just owned that top spot for a long time. So he's still doing well to sit in the top 8.
Mr. Ellis, wonder where he is in the moment in his case, traveling around Australia, playing golf in a caravan, living most of everyone's every golfer's dream.
Yeah. And Ginger Ninja has jumped into the top 10. So Ginger Ninja and Rocket with the picks picked the winners this week, knocked Public Golf and Joe Tolomeo out into 11 and 12. And Doc, which is good to see Doc. We don't want marketing anywhere near this.
Joe Tolomeo is one of the greatest supporters of everything that we do. If there's something to be liked, shared, or subscribed, Joe Tolomeo is the first one there, and that includes anything to do with drum and golf. He is the first one to have a positive comment, a like and a thumbs up or an emoji or something like that. Joe Tolomeo will guaranteed to be first at doing any liking, so he's a great man. And the Ginger Ninja sitting up there in stall. Daniel is one of our favourite members of the Mental Mastery Clubhouse. So this week, Jamie and I represented the Mental Mastery Clubhouse. We streamlined it. It's been sort of 12 months in the membership format. And if you do want to improve your game by improving your mental game, and for most people, technical stuff is the slow burn to improve. But if you improve your mental game, you can accelerate your performance. If you want to get some of Jamie Glazier's content, now keep in mind, Jamie Glazier is Lucas Herbert's mental performance coach, PGA Tour winner, played last week. Probably didn't have the greatest week, but, made the cut, finished T48, probably banked another 80,000 or something like that. Jamie coaches Lucas Herbert. You can get the Mental Mastery membership for now $200. $200, which is about the price of a decent golf lesson. And you can get seven programs of different disciplines with about 8 to 10, some have got 20 videos in them, all the same sort of content that Jamie talks to his players about for $200. Mentalmastery.com.au. You can check it out.
That's the price of 2 snap shafts.
Well, we will avoid you snapping a shaft.
No, but if you go and do that, you invest in $200, you're going to get probably more back because there's if you're having one of those years on the golf course, that $200 investment could save you $200 because there's at least 3 to 4 snap shafts out there if you're not playing well.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm trying to flog something, and I am, because I'm, put a lot of sweat equity into building the website, and we did simplify it and make it easier and made it much more affordable. There's 2 streams. There's an elite stream and a club members stream, essentially the same content, but just in, Jamie talks to each of the 2 different types of members differently, and there'll be a couple of different forums for the elite players, which include some of the elite juniors. But, since putting all of that together, obviously I've watched every video, I've reviewed every video, I've written the notes around every video, and it really has helped me enjoy my golf more. And in part of that has really helped me play better golf as well. Might not be as reflected in the scores because I don't play enough and I don't practice, but I just know the golf that I play now is a better quality of golf because of the skills that I've learned through doing those courses. And as I say, for $200, and Daniel Crawford, anyway, more to the point, Daniel's one of our leading members. He engages with that content, and we should get Daniel on one day to tell us what he thinks of it rather than listening to me. Anyway, mentalmastery.com.au, Mental Mastery Clubhouse, .com.au. Anyway, that was the free plug. Anyone else got a free plug? Mike, how's the cheese business? Have we convinced marketing to fund? Have we convinced King Island Cheese to fund the King Island Mile of Golf next team meeting?
No, no, that'll be very, very highly unlikely. Okay. But I was in a meeting the other day where I got told there's some things that I can give away. So that's good. When next time I'm in the office, I'll grab them. And
some Lego.
Yeah, there's some knives there. There's some cheese boards. There's some other stuff. So we'll do some giveaways.
Smoked cheddar.
Smoked cheddar is hard to get, but they do appreciate your posting of smoked cheddar.
Hey, I'll post daily.
And Old Salty. Old Salty's a smoked cheddar fan.
I'm really?
Yeah, big fan.
G'day to the Old Salty boys up there on far north coast, New South Wales.
I do have a plug.
Oh, yeah, plug away. This is the plug segment.
No, it's a plug for you.
Oh, right.
Your push-ups.
Yeah, it starts tomorrow.
And has anyone been donating millions of dollars?
Yeah, you donated the biggest. You're the biggest donator so far, but we will be. We need to get more active in pushing that. It does start tomorrow. 24 days, 3,923 push-ups, all in effort to increase awareness for suicide and mental health. Rocket and I are doing that, and we will be supporting Lifeline. Lifeline, of course, is a Drummer Golf charity partner, so that's my commitment to doing that as one of my little pieces that I have to do. Yeah. Rocket.
Probably going to, maybe I'll be able to burn off some of that apple cinnamon damper and the rich cream that I've been covering it with for the last week or 2.
Okay, this is my final month, of my 3-month project of getting a bit stronger, a bit fitter. I haven't lost any weight, but I've certainly got a bit stronger thanks to Ben Croker down at Peninsula Kingswood.
You're starting to put the muscle on now, mate.
Did you see that? Could you tell in that? I'm feeling stronger. I can swim in the pool again. It's great. Anyway, speaking of dietary requirements, who got sent the biscuits from Rocket?
Yeah, not me.
Mate.
Yeah. Right.
Rocket champion. So I've been feeling sick today. I was going into the office. I was feeling a bit crook and had made myself a cup of tea this morning. I can't remember the last time I made a cup of tea. And then about an hour later, delivery. What's his delivery on? I'm waiting on some purchases post Justin Thomas's win, but that wasn't those. And what's this from? Oh, Rocket sent me some biscuits. These will go perfectly with my next cup of tea.
So does reception ring through? Mr. Creedy, delivery reception for you, Mr. Creedy?
No, I'm home. I go to the office once in a blue moon.
Oh, okay.
But no, it was downstairs. The buzzer rang, and I'm like, oh,
okay.
What's this? There you go.
What was in there with the Anzacs in there?
Look, I won't lie to you. It was a little container of biscuits. They're all perfectly individually wrapped, and the first one on top was like a it's hard to explain. It's like a softer one with like all sorts of it's like a fruity type one. And
another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had that like that. I literally walked upstairs before I'd even opened the package and was in the kitchen. I'd already eaten one. Yeah, it's like the cookie monster. There's crumbs going everywhere. And then about 20 minutes later, when I had a cup of tea, I'm like, right. I was really hoping that the next one was what I thought it was, but it was the shortbread.
Oh, yeah.
I had that. And then, I ate that before the tea was ready. So then I opened the next one and it was a chocolate chip cookie, which is the one that I really wanted. So I got that and I was like, right.
They are mint. I have to hide them when I get them.
So I've had 3 in about an hour. And so the rest are hiding now. So to Elise, you should get one of those before they go on tomorrow.
You got chocolate chip cookies from Rocket.
Yeah, they're the best.
Mark.
You're on a diet, mate. You don't need it. You don't need to know about it.
Fuck.
No, you're right. I don't need them, but cheapers weepers, I'd eat them if I had them.
You'd eat them all. You have no idea how good the chocolate chip.
What did you and I do to miss out? Like, when did this fella with the Western United scarf on become the team favourite? What happened? What did we do?
Oh no, I already got his delivery.
Okay. Maybe there's some at work. I haven't been to work. I don't go into the city very often anymore. Cool. Very good. Okay. Enough of that. Any more plugs, Rocket?
He's rattled.
I am. I all started. If you're wondering why I'm a bit out of sorts, he bloody antagonised me with the Western United.
We're just looking after your fitness regime. That's all. We'll take one for the team.
Ben Croker is a good fella. He trains me down there once a week, and it's been great. Been an absolute revelation. But Ben Croker is the son of Peter Croker. Peter Croker, a very well-known golf coach in Australia. There you go. Okay, the Memorial. Well, we're going to talk about some of the European stuff. We're going to talk about European Asian Tour, Women's Tour before we talk about the Memorial, or we're going to just go straight to the Memorial?
No, why not? You choose. You're in charge.
You choose.
Rocket, you choose. No. Straight to the Memorial?
Memorial, okay.
The women's was played at Shadow Creek. Yeah. Women's US Opens this week.
It is.
There's some European stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, the only one I want to say about the women's US Open this week is I'm feeling like an Aussie's going to win. Like, I think one of the two. One of.
Oh, no, it's got Minji written all over it.
One of those is going to pinch.
It's a Pine Needles.
Correct.
Pine Needles is, again, Donald. No, it wasn't Donald Ross.
No, Donald Ross. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, because it's right next to Southern Pines and Mid Pines. Yeah. So it's. I think the last time was that. I think because I know that Annika won the US Open there, and I don't know if it's been back since. But yeah, again, target golf being small greens, dish-shaped greens, a lot of false front slopes, etc. So iron play is going to be a premium because that course can be hard.
I very confident on the Aussie girls this week. So
well, good luck to them. Let's just quickly run through who we've got. We've got Sarah Kempe. We've got Sarah Kemp in there. We've got Mile of Golf and Caddy Snack's very own Grace Kim. She qualified courtesy of her win the other week. That's good to see her in there. Of course, we've got Minji Lee. Who else? We've got Hannah Green, Liddy Coe from New Zealand. We've got Gabriella Ruffles. Of course, we do. Another client of Jamie Glazier's, by the way. And Julian Alvarez. Do we know much about Julian Alvarez?
No.
I'm not sure if she's Kiwi or Australian. Oh, sorry, I apologise that I don't know, but obviously I can see the flag there in the participant rundown.
Yeah, she's in New Zealand.
From Kiwi, yeah, okay. From New Zealand, she's a Kiwi.
That's right. If she wins, she's Aussie. That's how we roll.
It looks like a good field. Russell. Looks like a good field. Pine Needles looks like a great course. And you're right. Very, very, very astute.
Yeah, if anyone wants to see Pine Needles, go to is it Tourist Source season 6?
I won't remember the seasons, but yeah.
It was the one before Bandon. I think it's 6. Season 6. So they did one around Pine Needles. And they did Southern Pines and Mid Pines and stuff like that. It's really, really good. So that would be the suggestion. Go to Tourist Source, no laying up. I think it's season 6 when they did season 5.
There you go. Well done. I do have another plug, by the way. Another plug segment's over, but I have another plug, and your no laying up reminded me. Craft Golf. Craft Golf is Will Kay, who runs Craft Golf. It's a boutique merchandise providor based out of Tasmania, Rocket's home state. And Craft Golf represents the Golfer's Journal, but also represents No Laying Up's Australian distribution for their merchandise and a selected range. And I recently got what did I get? My back catalogue of Golfer's Journals, which you can see just there. I was missing 2. I don't know why I was missing 2, but I was missing 2. And I've got every one of the 19 issues of the Golfer's Journal, which I love looking at for the photos. Don't read much, but I like the photos. And Craft Golf had the 2 missing issues. So I'd had them on hold for a while. Finally got around to getting them. Sent Will some cash. Said, fill me up with some no laying up merchandise to the value of whatever I sent him. He sent me back a great hoodie. He sent me back a great no laying up t-shirt. He sent me up some Craft Golf tees. He sent me up a no laying up sticker pack, and my 2 issues all sent overnight. Fantastic. So if you're into any of that, you don't have to get it and pay the freight from the States. You can get it off Will at Craft Golf. There you go.
And I've bought a few things from Will. I bought some no laying up products, but I also bought some hazy sticks, some alignment sticks, and he had them sent up, and Doc and I got some. So, yeah, great stuff.
What did happen, I'll call it market research when, I put that bill through the system. The no laying up hoodie, it's good. It's all right? It's pretty good. It's got no laying up on it. But the Mile Off of Golf hoodie is a quality item when compared to the no laying up hoodie. I'll just say that the Mile Off of Golf hoodie is a high quality item compared to that. I love it.
I mean, I've got cookies. I don't have a hoodie.
No, well, in saying that, Mike, there's yours right there. That's it. That's it there. It turned up today. Yours came because I had to get a different size. There it is there. So, Rocket, you've got yours. Old Salty's got his. Doc's here. Yours is here. There you go. Once again, not available. Exclusive merchandise. Okay. The International Series at England at Slaley Hall. We've got a man on the ground there. I was hoping to talk to him. I'm hoping to bring him on. Blakey is, from Golf Rules Questions, is refereeing at the International Series at Slaley Hall, which is part of the Asian Tour, which then, if you play well in the International Series at England, you get an entry into the Live Golf Invitational. So it's all part of that thing. So Blakey's over there for that event, and then we'll also be refereeing at the Live Golf Invitational. So between now and next week, we hope to talk to Blakey and just get his lay of the land from the ground over there at the Live Golf Invitational. Anyway, that'll be good to catch up with him. And what else? European Tour.
Memorial. We haven't done Memorial yet.
Yeah, but European Tour, Foxy. Foxy nearly got it. Foxy missed out. Yeah.
He doubled his last to fall into a playoff and then lost to Victor Perez. But he also gets his stamps his passport into the Open. So he's very happy.
Foxy, I've got to say, since we started getting on the Fox train, Foxy's results have lifted.
His last 2 starts in continental Europe have been exceptional. I think he finished top 2 both times, and probably could have pinched both of them, or should have won both of them. And didn't play poorly at the PGA either.
Well, we have been giving Foxy some love, and he's lifted. Okay, Memorial, take it away.
Memorial, Jack's Place this week.
Speaking of live golf, Jack's Place.
Very, very excited. Is Rocket? You excited? No, maybe.
Well, I'll be interested to see what the
changes
course looks like.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Renos from.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Did Renos last year?
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what that looks like, and just hopefully the course plays a little bit firm and fast.
Yep.
And hopefully they make the 16th hole like, I don't know. I don't even know what he's turned it into, but it was just garbage.
Yeah, I don't remember it that well. I mean, last year, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but this is one of the ones that when we came out of COVID, these are one of the ones, and this is the one Rahm was winning by a long ways and had to pull out because
he was leading by 6 and going into the final round and got told as he walked off the last that he was positive.
And he said to Paddy Ice, "Here's $1 million. Go and spend it however you like." Yeah. Oh, well. Big field this week. So, I mean, it's amazing to think how many people are playing this week. You've got the Canadian Open next week, and then
which will have probably one of the worst fields ever.
It'll be a shocker. But this week we've got Rory, Rahm, Cantlay, Spieth, Cam Smith, Morikawa, Schauffele, Hovland, Matsuyama, Lowry, Fitzpatrick, Cam Young, Max Homer, Zalatora, Sanjay Im, Davis Riley playing great golf. Joaquin Neiman, Corey Connors, Berger, Mito, Answer, J Day, Patrick Reed, James Power, Adam Scott, Horschel. Goes on and on and on. It is an unbelievable field. It was pretty tough to do a bit of homework on it, to be honest. It was one of those ones where it's a bit of an unknown because everything's changed around a little bit. Bit of a course runner here and there. I still think ball striking. I still think strokes gain approach is going to be super important. Tee to greens here is always important. And I've had a look at how players go from shots in from about 175 to 200 yards. That's probably one of the key distances when you look at versus other courses that they're going to need.
Yeah, there's some long par fours out there.
Yep. And then on the par threes, they all sit between 200 and 220, 225 or 250 yards. So I've looked at that performance. Par fives over 550 yards. Now we're going to do the top 15 again, aren't we?
Dive into the data lake. Let's go.
15 from the top. Matsuyama, Morikawa, Schauffele, Smith, Fitzpatrick, Rahm, List, Homer, Lowry, Hovland, Connors, Laird.
What?
Berger, Aaron Wise, Tom Hoagie. That's the data lake.
A top Scott has made the top 15 of the data lake.
The data lake, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I've narrowed it down to 5. I've had a small shekel on 2 of them, but the guys that I like are Matsuyama, who's ranks on top. But I'm a bit worried about his health because he's been a bit tooey-froey and he was the same in the PGA, so it concerns me a little bit. Cam Smith was unbelievable at the PGA and couldn't putt, but he's a top 5 putter on tour. So if he
these greens will be back to his sort of normal pace. Yeah,
he's a huge chance. And then the other 3 I kind of sit all at the same level, and I think all of them can win as well. And that's Max Homer, Shane Lowry, and Cameron Young. I think all those guys fit very, very well. And they're my 5. And the only ones I've had small bets on so far have been Homer and Young, just because the price was a bit silly. And just for Rocket, because we were talking about it before we started recording today, I had a very, very small bet on Bryson DeChambeau to win because he was 200 to 1. And I thought, you know what? I'm happy to part with $5 here and just insure. It's an insurance policy just in case.
Question: Where did Davis Riley pop up?
Davis Riley has been playing exceptional golf this year, and he was in my picks last week. And at one point was winning last week by a shot, and then vomited all over himself, as we like to say. Davis sits at 32nd on the data lake, but 32nd isn't bad when you think of the names that are in this field for a guy who's hasn't necessarily got truckloads of starts and truckloads of form. He's never obviously played here before. His last 5 starts, the Schwab finished 4th, 13th at the PGA, 9th at the Byron Nelson, 5th at the Mexico, and 4th at the Zurich. That's pretty good going.
Okay. What about J-Day?
J-Day wasn't far behind, I don't think. Where was J-Day? No, can't see J-Day. Must be a fair way down.
Because this is home course for him, and he's been playing all right this year.
House not far away from here.
No, it's like down the road.
Yeah,
he's in the estate.
Yeah, where they did that video. So J-Day ranks 93rd.
Really?
Yeah, but the answer is his numbers this year have been very poor. So when he's played well, he's played very well. But in the stats that I'm looking at, nearly all of them rank at 100th on tour or worse.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why he rates him. Doesn't mean he can't win. I mean, he's finished 4th here before. And yeah.
What about Pat Healy?
Pat Healy?
Oh, sorry. Ricky Fowler. He looks like Pat Healy from Something About Mary.
I was thinking to myself,
with that private investigator, poor porn stash that he wears.
Is he playing?
Yep.
I didn't even know he's playing. I'm sure he's on my list somewhere, but I haven't seen him. He wouldn't even have enough stars to have stats in here, surely. Oh, he does. He ranks a bit higher up than both of those guys. He ranks, no, he's 60th. Bang in the middle. Bang in the middle. But that's mainly driven by his numbers from par fives over 550s. He does pretty well. So there you go.
Yeah, everyone knows I rag on the man by virtue of me calling him Pat Healy from Something About Mary.
Well,
that mustache is terrible.
His last 4 starts here are 11th, cut, 14th, 8th, and 2nd. That's pretty good. Can't argue with those numbers.
And the only thing that's holding him back at the moment is his putting.
Yeah, and his moustache. And his outfits are terrible still.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's only a couple of things.
It's only a couple.
He's still fitting into a boy's size 30. He's doing pretty well for how old is Ricky now?
32, 33.
Yeah.
Like he's in good shape.
Yeah.
Do you think, let's talk about Ricky for a sec. Do you think that he can bounce back, or do you think that's him? He's just going to play, this sort of level of golf, and, he's pretty happy, and at 32 he's made 75 million and he's fine? Or do you think that he will bounce back? He can bounce back into mid 30s and 40s, or into early 40s.
I think he can bounce back. I don't know that he's ever tried to change his swing. I think it's just mental. I think he's just got to get the belief. Has he changed it?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, there you go. So,
but the thing is, though, he's changed his swing, which really hasn't had a massive material impact on his ball striking. And the areas that, he doesn't have one part of his game that stands out. I think most players, we talk about Colin Morikawa. It's like tee to green, just needs a hot putting week. It might be Brooks, where it's like, a lot of his driving and stuff like that. Or even it could be, he's also in DJ. So he hits it really long, but he's also like a demon with the wedge. Where you go Ricky, and it's like, he's long enough and he hits his irons okay. If there's one area of his game which I think is underrated, is actually him around the greens. I think he's supremely underrated around the greens. He just doesn't make enough putts.
Everything he said is bang on. If I'm just looking up his data now, so his strokes gained total, nothing's really super, has never been, back to 2019, but all of it has just deteriorated up until the start of, or the end of 2021, where he's back to an average tour player stats. When I think of Ricky, I think of a guy who could catch fire, and when he was on, he was clutch, and he's nowhere near that. That's a bit. If he can get that killer back, he's obviously got the talent. That doesn't go away.
I'd just love to see him back, like a little bit like Jordan. It was good to see when Jordan started playing well. I think, it'd be great to see Ricky playing well. He's one of those guys that, brings some eyeballs to the game.
He brings the kids. He's brought the kid. He's king of the kids. A bit like Jordan. It would be good for him to look. He doesn't give a lot. Like, his interviews are quite bland and boring, and it's okay, I guess. But if he fixes his putting, maybe that's difference. And him contending a lot would, I don't know, be good, be better than having some of the misfits up there. He just needs to have a haircut and shave that moustache. It's just terrible.
That's not good.
It is terrible.
Well, 2018, he was official world golf ranking was easy top 10, easy. And now he's 135.
Well, Ricky, let's get you back. If we talk about you, Ryan Fox style, you might have half a chance. It's a great field. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting for me to look at you guys, watch you guys WhatsApp back and forth about what's going on. I enjoy that as much as getting to see it.
Who's your pick, Ross?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually I was just thinking that then. I need to find
Marty Laird.
No, I'm probably not going to pick Marty Laird. As soon as I pick Marty Laird, you know what's going to happen now. We'll talk about Marty Laird. Marty Laird will finish like second and get $7 million, and I'll go, nah, Marty Laird.
I know I've already put mine in because I did it before, so I didn't forget, and that's Max Homer. Because of all the guys that I liked in my top 5, he's the only one that I haven't picked before. It was either him or Cam Young, and I took Homer. Okay.
Yeah, well, for me, it's probably maybe Cam Smith, but I'm just not sure if I picked Cam Smith before, so that's why I can't commit.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I've picked, so I clearly haven't had a look at who I hadn't. So Cam Smith, I'll definitely be someone in that top 15. May even be Marty Laird. May even go for a bit of fun. Marty Laird. Top Scott. Anything else?
There's only 2 of them playing. I checked that.
Yeah, Rusty and Marty.
Yeah, I've got to check who. I can't even remember who. I think I've already picked Max because I did him at Riviera, I think. I might have to. Cam Young's been hot. Don't know. Max. Yeah, I've already done Max. Damn it.
Well, Rocket, you can M-log Rocket at your picks. Anything else while we wrap up? James Rocket's got to go. He's got some work to do. He's got to jump on an international IT security call.
I've got a public service announcement. Which I was thinking about on the weekend.
Yep.
So of late, I can't play a lot of golf because it's that time of year where the sun's not out long enough for me. And so I've been trying to get down and play 9 holes when I can at like 4:30 on a Saturday afternoon, which is not ideal because the sun goes down at 5:30. And what I wanted to say is a public service announcement, because the people that listen to this are golfers, right? We all love golf, and we all know people that are getting into golf now because that's what's happening. Lots and lots of people that don't normally play golf, haven't been playing for a long time, are getting involved. What I'd love to see is if some people out there can help by imparting the basic knowledge of what to do on a golf course to the people that are starting out. And that is fill your divots, fix your pitch marks. If you're slow, that's fine. Just let people pass. Because I tell you right now, someone's going to get killed. I honestly, every time I go out, I would empty on nearly every tee box 2 buckets full of sand.
Fix your pitch mark.
Unbelievable.
Fix your. I've run out of steam today, and I've got more stuff to do. It's ridiculous. Yeah, fill your divots in.
Yep.
Fix your pitch marks.
Yep. Players are foursome at most. Don't turn up with 12 mates and just decide after the second hole when you're at the clubhouse. And this is obviously a lot of this is public golf type stuff. They're not going to be copping this at PK. But yeah. It makes it better for everybody.
There are some peanuts out there.
Yeah, look, I think in that club environment, it does get a lot more attention. But I still think that at every golf course, and we'll start at the bigger ones, there are a small section of people that think that they don't need to do that, or it's okay just to forget or let it slide for that hole, that round, that week. And it's clearly doesn't work. That it only works when everyone pitches in. The Peninsula Kings will be recently. It's a topic there. It comes up in the members' newsletters all the time about fixing divots. You get a lot of people at visitors and guests and that sort of thing. I'm not blaming them, but they just don't have the same level of intention to care. And we've got this situation now where basically, you get nominated for certain holes. So you get nominated by, I think, your letter of your name and your alphabet, and you've got to fill in divots and pitch marks on whatever hole. And if they figure if everyone does the names of their alphabet on their holes, it'll increase the pace. Me, it doesn't bother me. I just fill divots. I fill my sand bucket up and I fill divots and I repair 5 pitch marks around. Usually slows people up. But I just think at the public golf courses, you're right. Some of the newer golfers haven't learned that etiquette. They just think the grass grows back. I don't know what they think, but you're right. And then some people think, well, I've paid for this, so I don't have to do it.
Yeah. Or they say the pros not do it, and they think that no one does it, but that's just not the way it works.
Yep.
But I mean, I pulled a guy up the other day, and it pained me to do it because I didn't want to get into a fight, is the honest answer. But the golf course that I play at, it's not fenced. People can just walk on. So I was coming down the 3rd hole, and he'd parked his car on the side, and instead of going and paying his green fees, was coming onto the course with a handful of clubs and a ball retriever that had 100 golf balls in it, and was just going to drop them in the middle of the fairway and have practice. And so I thought he's not really going to do that, is he? So I kept playing. And then as I came back around 2 or 3 holes later, he'd done that. And he just was literally just hitting, he's clearly a golfer. He's hitting great shots in. No sand with him, no nothing. I just went over and said, listen, mate, I don't care if you're going to come in here and try and not pay for golf. I couldn't care. But just fill the sand. Just fill these in with sand. And he looked at me like, are you serious? And I'm like, I felt saying, are you serious? Like, I just walked away. But that's the sort of, that's not just the new golfers. It is people that play a lot of golf that just don't have the care for the course. And I hate it.
Nah, there are tip rats out there.
I love the term tip rat.
There are tip rats out there. Absolute tip rats.
Yeah, no, that's no good. Doesn't matter if it's a council course, because what will happen, another interesting topic, what's happening at Northcote Golf Course? What will happen is everyone will start using it, like public will start using the golf courses, which are the only places some people get to play golf. And this isn't it's a golfer's right, public, you don't have access to public land. That's not that sort of environment. But golf is a sport and it needs golf courses. And, councils have provided a amenity for golfers to play golf, as they do for netballers, as they do for cricket, as they do for soccer, rugby, football, whatever. Golfers have that amenity. Yeah, okay, it takes up a little bit more space. And it's usually in a nice environment. That's golf. It doesn't mean that necessarily should they be the domain of everyone to come and have and use as a parkland. But at Northcote Golf Course, that's what's happened. And basically now the council had to secede to the
minority.
Yeah, minority. What's it called when you everyone signs? What's it called? Sorry, I've gone blank. A petition. Yeah, they had obviously a petition that started that said, give us the golf course for everyone. And basically golf, when golf stops there now, so you said you jump on at 4:30 and try and get 9 holes in an hour. 3 p.m. Yeah. Golf is off, public on.
There'll be no one there. I can guarantee you there'll be nobody there. And as I said on Twitter, I want to know whether the people, and I'm not going to get into an argument with anyone about it, but the golfers are paying to access that and maintain the grass and maintain the bunkers. I can tell you what happens at 3:00. Jill and Brad are going to come down with 3 kids and they're going to have a picnic, and good luck to them because they're allowed to. There's no problems with that. And the kids are going to jump in the bunkers and build sandcastles and mess around. They have not played to be there. They're just going to go.
Dogs are going to crap on the grass. Yep. They're not going to pick it up because it's just a park.
And then the golfer's going to come in and pay his green fees. And
dog will dig a hole in the bunker. Yeah, take a piss.
Well, I saw it during COVID. My COVID walk was through my local public course, and every single day, I would see people on the greens, sitting on the edgings of the bunkers, and like sitting there just kicking their feet along, just thinking it was a great spot to sit and really just taking the edging off the grass. And
zero respect.
It's not even respect. They just have no idea. And that's I get that, but they're not supposed to be there. It's like, this is a golf course for that reason. If you want to fence off the greens every night, then go and do it. But that doesn't make any sense either. I don't know.
Yeah, my point is, if we don't protect it and respect it and, behave like golfers, new experience or otherwise, this sort of culture will happen, and we will lose these golf courses in time. We've got a boom. We've got a once in a generation opportunity as golf grows, and a lot of people have come to it to maintain that. And, Clovermore has already tried to take away one of the greatest golf course assets to, the Sydney golfing public near a great town in one of the greatest countries. She tried to take it away because, she built.
Which one was that one? That was
Moore Park.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle of the city, like with one of the better driving ranges on the planet.
So, because they've built a million bazillion apartments near there and happily take all of the revenue that comes from building a million bazillion apartments. Now, of course, a million bazillion times 2 people have to have public amenity. Now, not the fact that the Centennial Park is just over the road, but, Moore Park, the golf course, is a little bit closer. So we'll have that, please. And obviously it hasn't happened yet, but, if we don't respect the golf courses and really respect the game and the traditions of it and treat golf like golf should be and really stand up for it, this sort of thing will happen. It'll be blended and bled, and people to like a driving range, and people say, well, if you can hit golf balls on there and not pay his fee, I'm going to walk my dog.
So Northcote, so I know I've got to jump off, but I'm fired up. So let's go.
Love it.
We forecast it.
So what time is it supposed to finish for golf?
3:00.
3 p.m.
Is that every day?
Every day.
That's a setup.
As far as I'm aware.
That's a setup.
They can't go after work.
No, it's a setup. Because here's what will happen, right? So there's obviously some dingbats, some tip rats, and some dirt bags on that council, and they've got some developer mates in there somewhere, and they want to sell off part of it and then punt off the rest of it for probably some parkland inside that development, because that land's going to be worth an absolute truckload. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. So guess what? If you have it at 3 o'clock every day, that means people wanting to play, especially in the peak time of the year when they play the most golf, so your spring and your summer, after hours, they're not going to be able to. So guess what? All of a sudden, they're going to start to track the data of how many people are playing golf on that course up to 3 o'clock. Guess what? It's going to fall off a cliff. So baseline that over a 5 to 6 year period. Oh, not enough participation in golf. We really should just sell this land off to the developers. It's an absolute setup. It's a crock. It's an absolute crock of shit.
They're not. I think it's Moreland City Council. They're not
more. What is that? Moron? Did you say Moron City Council?
Yeah,
that's appropriate.
That doesn't.
Sorry, listeners, for me cussing and stuff like that. But I get really jacked off with councils that have zero foresight, zero intelligence, zero understanding of the benefits. And here's the thing: I'm not saying that you can't share it with other people, but let's be smart about this thing. And here's the other thing: is that they're going to make this park open, and there's going to be heaps of people there that don't treat the course accordingly. So that means there's going to be more maintenance required. But guess who's going to have to pay for that? The golfers and the people that try and maintain the course. Instead of it going into improvements, it's going to be basically just trying to keep it so it doesn't look like a dump. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It's a setup.
We'll wrap this up, but I'll just refer.
Wrap me up.
No, you're good. Everyone loves a rocket rant. But we talk about, the homeland of golf, the homeland of my family, the homeland of my wife's family, where golf, was born. And in Scotland, they have an ancient rule called right to roam. We've probably talked about this before.
Sunday.
Sunday at St Andrews, where they close it, and everyone gets access to it. Maybe that's a solution. But a right to roam, so people have access to. Let's use North Berwick as an example. You can go and walk across North Berwick to get to the beach. You can walk down the side of it, and no one can say anything. And I've had a couple of rounds there where people have been walking along, I think the 15th, 16th, that goes back up near the water, and patting other people's dogs. And you know what? They know where they go, and they know where the golfers go, and they coexist, and everyone is happy.
Because you have a community that understands and cares.
Correct.
They understand and they care.
Correct.
And they're protecting everyone.
Correct.
The golfers care about, sharing this with the community, and the community care about the course, and then provide, back and forth, right? Because there's a nice little ecosystem and a harmony that exists. Versus I've got some mates who are developers, and I might get some brown paper bags in the car park, something like that.
The locals know that they can use that to their needs, but they respect the fact that what golf does for that little town, that community, what it means to it. And Moreland Council and Northcote Golf Course should be no different. Now, Moreland Council should respect what that course means and what it does for the community, and ensure that there are some coexisting opportunities where golfers don't lose access at 3 p.m, which is exactly going to happen. People are going to go, well, no one's playing golf anymore. Oh, let's close it down and let's do whatever. It's just baloney. And, if you want to know how to do golf, just look at the home of golf. Look at the people that invented the game and the traditions that have been maintained over hundreds of years, and just take that as a model and just do that sort of stuff. And even, I think even sandbelt courses could do it. I know at Peninsula Kings we've got a big walking track. Now, no one knows it's there, but I'm sure that there's a day when, maybe the walking track can get opened up and you can book you can come and do a walk around the thing. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Good. Rocket, fired up. You're going to go. We're going to go. Mike, it's been great. Thanks. Well done with your data tippage, data leakage from last week. Well done to whoever did use that to their benefit. Once again, of course, this isn't a gambling discussion, but if you do use that for that purposes, do it responsibly. Support Rocket and I on our push-up challenge, 24 days to do many, and you can do the push-ups. And there's 5 push-ups. Rocket, put that in your bank.
5 raising of the roofs.
We will be hitting each and every one of you up for some sponsorship. Please give generously for a great cause to help mental health and help the people at Lifeline who need the support, because it is, those funds do go to making Lifeline and supporting people who do help great people achieve great things through the support. Gents, I think we should leave everyone with Mike's new theme tune. What do you reckon?
Mike.
I love it.
The shocker.
I love it. Gents, we'll see you next week.
Mike.
Just need a dirty martini now.
Mike. M-I-K-E. Mike. M-I-K-E, Mike. M-I-K-E, Mike. M-I-K-E, Mike. Mike. Mike.